Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome back to our QPR Career Mode. If you're not all nice and caught up, go check out the playlist, get yourself caught up, and then of course welcome back to today's episode. Just as a bit of preamble, I'm expecting this to possibly go up a little bit later than normal. Just not had the time to sort of film in advance, so this is filming very near to the time this is meant to be uploaded, so apologies if this is a little late on the old upload schedule, but hopefully today we can crack on through and get some more games done. You can see our next game is up against Preston, and we start the episode in 11th place after a bit of a rocky last episode. It's been a rocky couple of episodes with obviously a lot of losses having come our way. But back-to-back wins against Stoke and Hull do mean that we are hopefully heading in the right direction, as we are up against two very good teams, two teams that are very much above us in Preston, who I think when I checked are about 5th, and Leicester, who are top of the table comfortably on I think 29 points so far. But we will of course also go and play against Sheffield Wednesday and then Rotherham, as we are playing 4 games an episode on those slightly shorter halves. But we are getting nearer and nearer to the January transfer window, a handful of episodes away from that. So obviously today we'll get to here, and then this will be the next episode. So in 2 episodes time, so I guess technically the 3rd episode from now, if this was episode number 1, we will be in the January transfer window. I've had plenty of suggestions of players suggesting like to look at and stuff. One thing that's worth noting out, we do only have £3 million in the budget. So we don't have loads to spend, and players that we will be picking up will most likely be a rotation situation. They're not necessarily going to be, bringing players in that are going to be top flight, coming in and bringing like an 80 rated striker. Well, obviously we're not getting 80 rated striker, but do you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to come in and bring like first team players necessarily. It's going to be that we're probably looking at a little bit of depth for players that have got good potential. So, looking at players in those sort of mid 60s, I would say, to try and bring in and then bring through within a season or so. That's probably where we're going to be have to be looking, because £3 million, we're not going to be picking many players up. I will also be looking at some people on pre-contracts. So if you guys know any relatively realistic signings for pre-contracts, for a pre-contract, I'd say we probably don't want to go much above like our highest rated player. So I'm going to say cap it at like a 74, because I think that's relatively reasonable. I wouldn't want to, again, let's say, for example, that Haaland was on a pre-contract. I'm obviously not going to go in for Haaland, even if I could afford him. So keeping it to a level of realism, because although we'll eventually end up signing players that wouldn't be realistic to sign into QPR, at the moment in time, we're a championship club that don't spend much money, and that's also true in this career mode. So just worth keeping that in mind. I'm also going to fix the starting lineup, because obviously I had to rotate a lot for the last game because of internationals. So I'll get this sorted, and I'll either see you at Preston, or if anything happens before then, I'll see you then. Okay, we have got our strongest 11 set and ready to go. Although actually saying that, I didn't notice Jake Clark-Salter's stamina was just ever so slightly off. I know it's not much, but I'm going to bring in Jimmy Dunn. Morgan Fox actually did ask to play, but I feel like we've got 3 better rated centre-backs than Fox. So I feel like Fox could maybe be on his way out in January. There's a couple of options for players that we could end up selling, but our depth isn't that fantastic. So maybe it's a matter of selling a couple of players to then try and bring some more players in. That might be like a look that we have to go for. But let's get this team rocking and ready to go up against Preston. As I said, I think they're on 22 points and sitting a good few places above us in the table. But hopefully we can be here to upset the books and turn things around a little bit. Also worth noting, I have had another little tweak to the sliders just to make defending a little bit harder, a little bit better for the AI as well, because again, I just don't want this to be, although I want it to be playable and fun, I still want the challenge. I don't want all of a sudden to go on like, a 30-game winning streak just because I've tweaked with the sliders. But Ultimate, I'll hold my hands up, I don't think I'm good enough to play it consistently and have this be an entertaining series. So I will admit that that is a skill issue, but fingers crossed we can have a good episode today with, just fun. I'm here to have fun, boys. Come on, you ours. Chair now. Going to bring this ball forward. Going to play a lovely inside pass here to Field. He's going to find that switch all the way across to Ozzy. Ozzy now. Can we try and bring this down. I don't know that we can. Oh, you know what? He's done really well to make some space for himself there. Linden going to have to look back and find Sam Field. Going to go across to Ilias, who finds Linden. Maybe a bit of a wasted chance with that strike, but I thought, you know what? Why not? Let's get our first shot registered for the day. Preston pushing down this wing here, and well stepped in there from Cook. Aussies had to come in and cover as well. Oh, bit lucky there with the loose pass from the Preston player. That could have been very problematic, and I sadly waste possession, but that could have been a big problem. Good chance there for Preston. Preston bringing this ball forward again. Whiteman on the ball here. Dazelle is going to try and close him down. Cook's going to close down Keane. Well done, boys. Well defended in the end, because that could have been bad. Giving the ball away again here. Very good effort. There was some venom in that from Keane. It's just gone wide of the post. I'm not entirely sure if Begovic had it covered. Worth noting, Begovic has stayed in goal. Oh, that was a good effort for this game here. But I think I'm going to have to go into a bit of an Arteta mode and start rotating some goalkeepers. I think it's the only way to kind of keep both happy for now, but also work out what the plan's going to be, because Begovic, bear in mind, has already started to lose ratings and obviously did make a couple of mistakes in games as well. That's poor from Jimmy Dunn, by the way. But I think it's the only way to really work out what the plan's going to be going forward for the keepers. Good save there from Asmir. I was just saying he'd been having a bit of a stinky moment, but he didn't have one there. Good save, mate. It has been all Preston so far. We have had that one chance that was maybe a bit of a snapshot from Lyndon Dykes, but it has been all Preston apart from that, and they again work it round our box really nicely. They're just going to try and toy with it, play it into the box. Keane has the shot. Jimmy Dunn does well to block it, and 36 minutes on the clock, and so far it is literally the players in white causing us levels of problems. Let's try and make sure we get this one out. Wasn't the prettiest of clearances, but it is clear. Maybe a chance for Willock to burst forward. No, well defended, it has to be said. Preston works it out wider, managed to just fully leave Kenneth Powell in the dust, and Asmir Begovic with a fantastic save, and again he needed to. I've had my moments of not being able to feel like I can trust Asmir Begovic, but boy has he lived up to the opposite today. He has been very, very good between the sticks and done everything he needed to. He's going to come out to that one as well. Didn't quite claim it. Does get a punch. He's now on the floor, ref. Nothing given there, but they are going to rotate it round. They're going to get the powered shot away. Aussie comes across and blocks it. Boys, we are backs up against the wall right now. It is not a great look for us. We have just got to make sure we don't give anything silly away here. Don't let them get anything just on the break. But maybe we could burst forward. I don't think we're going to get the time. I don't think the ref's going to let it play on. He leaves it quite late there. You feel like if he's going to call it as we're sort of just getting out of our third, not as we're starting to push into theirs. But that's fine. It's honestly, it's been a very, very minimal half from us. You can say Will Keane there having 3 shots at the QPR goal. Thankfully, though, no goals converted. So it's been a stressful little game, this. This has been a tough one. I think we have a week between this and the next game. I'm trying to remember the calendar. I've already forgot it. At some point, Field's going to make way for Colback. Just that's mainly a stamina thing there. And we'll probably have to part ways with Cook at some point as well. But for now, I'm going to keep with the same team. It's not a matter if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's more of a matter of we haven't really given many of these players a chance to show that they can make this work. And I don't know, as we said before, that my bench options, apart from maybe Paul Smith as an impact, are going to come on and be, you know, crazy impactful. Time will tell, I guess, really. But Ilias Chair here, trying to do Ilias Chair things, which is trying to just bring that ball forward kind of by himself. But Armstrong does get a chance to burst through now. Sinclair Armstrong, fantastic save from the keeper. Very, very well done there, because that was probably our first real chance of anything. We've offered nothing. They're taking Keane off as well, which is interesting because he has been their main outlet. But we've got Lyndon to aim for. We know what he can do on corners here. Kenneth Powell's going to whip it in. Lyndon Dykes. Oh, he climbed well, but a defender got just in front of him. Jimmy Dunn also pretty good in the air, but doesn't quite do what we needed there. But that's our first proper chances of the game. Sadly, it didn't quite come to anything. A smash and grab I would not be upset with. Ilias Chair going to just try and bring this ball forward now. Look at the run there from Lyndon. Lovely run from Lyndon on his left foot, and it's in the back of the net, boys. It is very much undeserved, it must be said. We have picked up in the second half. We have definitely built into the game a little bit, but it has very much been a one-sided affair, and it has not been in the direction of QPR. It's been at our goal rather than for us. So it's been very, very, very nice to see Lyndon find the back of the net, and I don't think Preston fans will be overly thrilled going 1-0 down, but we will take those, boys, absolutely. 100%. But I'm going to make a couple of changes here, the changes that I basically hinted at before. So we're going to take off Field the Shield and Steve Cook. Clark Salter and Colback can make their way on. Two very like-for-like changes. I think I'll also, for now, I think I'll keep Armstrong on. I was going to change him, but I think I'll keep him on instead and just have him keep doing his thing for now. But Coley will probably come on and get some minutes, as will Paul Smith. But I don't want to make too many changes for now. This is more just stamina changes than changes for any other reason. So let's keep it up, boys. 1-0. Chrissy Willock going to try and burst forward here. Look at that run from Armstrong. Oh, it's such a shame because he stopped his run after just starting to look like it was causing a problem for the Preston defence, and he's changed his mind, which is really unfortunate. But Kenneth Power's been drawn out here a little bit. Just got to try and get back and stop that cross. Thankfully, Andre Dizelle back there doing the business and keeping that from being a problem. Oh, not ideal there at all, Tom. Powell again, just getting this ball played past him. It's going to be played into the box, and it's a very, very justified goal there from Preston. They've not offered loads in this second half, but taking the full 75 minutes of the game so far into account, it's a justified 1-1 right now. And yeah, you can just see I didn't mark the man very well. The cross has come in. No one's really marked the empty spot there. Aussie's decided to stay nearer the back post, and Dunn hasn't really come central. So between the two of them, you'd like at least one of them maybe to have considered marking the man there, but it wasn't to be. I'm going to make the changes that I was sort of hinting at before. Willock will make way for Smith, Armstrong off for Coley. And I think for now, I might have to also go Larketch for Powell. Not because Powell's been bad, mainly just for stamina, but I think also it just takes that limelight off of Powell a little bit because he's had a lot up against him today. So fresh legs in the left-back spot could end up being pretty helpful. But the triple change with 10 minutes on the clock hopefully can be impactful in a good way. Preston passing this ball very, very nicely. They're going to look out wide. Aussie with work to do. Ball's played into the middle. Man, they played that ball very, very quickly, but it was effective. It was very effective. Thankfully, Asmid down to his close post, doing what needed to be done, which was stopping that from finding the back of the net. Let's get this one out. Well done. Oh, it's not very well cleared. It's gone through a bunch of players there. And again, Asmir Begovic is having to be called upon yet again. This is a real Asmir redemption arc right now. It is very, very, very good to see that he is back on top of things. But Ilias is going to get that ball headed clear. Why did it not lock onto Ryan Coley considerably earlier, where I could have actually had a chance to get that ball and take a run with it? But apparently, I wasn't allowed to do so. I wasn't quite given that luck or liberty. But let's try and get this one away again. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Oh, boys, that could have been problematic. But with about a minute on the clock, can we get something here? Paul Smith, we know what he is about. We know he's got pace, but I've run straight at the defender. 4 minutes added time, boys. There is time for something to happen here. But where the ball is on the pitch is really not ideal if there's going to be a last chance. Come on. Right, EA, do not dare blow that whistle. Oh, that's so annoying. But interestingly enough, our first draw of the series. Disappointing, I'll be honest with you, considering how we stepped into the game and then kind of stepped out of it again. We spent 45 minutes up against it, against Preston, came into our own for the first 10-15 of the second half, and then kind of fell off again. Asmir Begovic has saved us a point here, but it's unfortunate we couldn't have got all three. But it is what it is, boys. Again, it's not a loss, and we'll bear that in mind. Disappointing to have dropped points, but in the way that the game was sort of playing out, it kind of is a point gained in that scenario with how up against it we were there. But our next game is going to be up against top of the table Leicester, sat on 30. We actually climbed 2 places there with that point, thanks to goal difference. We leapfrogged West Brom and Sheffield Wednesday, so that's good to see. But Leicester City sitting at the top of the tree alongside Leeds and Hull, who are both just behind them, but both playing very, very well. All 3 teams on 8 wins this season. Leicester actually unbeaten as well, so that's going to be interesting. That's going to be not ideal for us. But sat in 9th place, I'm very, very happy with that, boys. Considering the terrible run we were on, it does go to show how impactful that was for the season. But yeah, that's a point gained and a tough game up next. Up against probably the toughest team in the league, it makes sense to use our starting 11 and give it all that we have got, boys. That is the only thing I can really suggest or do. It's worth noting, Bearing in mind he had an absolute blinder in the last game. Begovic has gone down again to a 72. So it really is starting to show that despite how good he is playing, that Begovic is on the decline purely because of his age. But it is what it is. But we need to turn Loftus Road into a fortress. We're failing to do so in real life. If I can do it here, it's better than nothing. It would just be nice to secure home points, get some good home form, and try and bring wins back to QPR, especially at Loftus Road. It would be lovely. So come on, boys. Let's take on, again, top of the table, probably the toughest squad in the league. In my opinion, this is still a Premier League level squad, along with a couple of the other teams that came down. I think Leeds have got a Premier League level squad as well, comfortably, and Southampton on paper. But games aren't won on paper, boys. Hopefully they can be won, I should say, in a video game. Come on, you Ars. Got to be careful here as Leicester attacking immediately, and they have a strike. Good block there from Jake Clark-Salter. Poor pass from me with Dizelle there. I really should have taken my time on the ball instead of just trying to pass it off quickly. But they're going to play it through here. They found a bit of space. They found space again. Oh, we're just sticking a tackle, and Begovic, instead of going for a save, falls to his left. The shot's gone to his right, and he's fallen to his left. I'm not entirely sure what the thought process was there, but it has found the back of the net, and that is very, very disappointing. You can see here the pass across. I've tried to get across to it. Cook stepped the wrong side. I'm not sure why he's dived like that. He has dived out of the way of the ball, but Casady is how I'm going to say that. I might be saying it wrong. I think he's a young Italian player. I might have got that wrong. But yeah, it's 1-0 to Leicester. 10 minutes on the clock. Willock with a lovely turn there to take it past Justin. And now, if we can get in a space, there could be a cross on the cards here. There is, but it's not a very good one. It's going to fall to Dizelle, though. He's going to lay it off the field. Tries to play it quickly to Chair. Armstrong collected it, but then sadly loses it. Chrissy Willock just going to try and burst through here. Does so very well. Keeps it on the pitch as well, which it didn't look like he was going to for a second. Tries to get the ball in. Plays it in the air. Takes it past. I think it's Everson in net. But, boys, that was unlucky. That's a really, really good bit of play there from Chrissy Willock. That's a Chrissy Willock we need back in real life, man. Taking players on, getting the ball down there, getting balls into the box, man. That's what we know he can do. Got to be careful here as they bring the ball through again. Daka with a strike. Daka with a goal. It's a very, very clean finish. Asmir, full stretch, doesn't quite get there. But 2-0 to Leicester City. This is the kind of thing I was talking about. We're against the top of the table. It's a tough old game. It's a tough old fixture, but they have just been all over us. You can see the space in the defence there from the edge of the box. It's a very good strike. And it's a comfortable lead right now. We were slowly building into it, but without really fully threatening the keeper. And now it's 2-0 to Leicester. Oh, again, another lovely bit of play here from Leicester as they work it out wide. They're going to try and get this ball in the box. I don't know. I mean, they can take their time, really, because they're in no immediate rush, especially 2-0 up with a whole half of football still to play. It could be 3. Thankfully, it is, and it is offside anyway. But Begovic did make a good save there, but Leicester have been beyond dominant. This has been an absolutely one-sided affair. And unless I really manage to change things up, I'm not sure how it will be any different at the moment. I'd love to try and bring on Paul Smith, but it just seems ridiculous to take off Ilias Chair. And Willock is playing so well right now. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do, boys. I think we're going to have to see that change. Yeah, I think that's going to be the only option here. So we're going to bring on Chair on the left. I think that is going to be the only change for now. Cook off for Dunn most likely at some point because of that stamina. But yeah, that change there is nothing against Ozzy. It's against Ilias. It's just that Paul Smith really can and does have an impact quite often with that pace and his just dribbling capabilities. Comes in here and immediately causes problems and nearly gets himself an assist off the bat there, but the shot from Linden is just wide of the post. It's unfortunate. I'd like to see how wide that goes because I feel like he should be maybe getting that one on target, testing the keeper. I've gone for that far post, but it looks like it was relatively comfortably wide. That is very disappointing. Oh, a lovely bit of play there from Isahaku. I'm probably saying that wrong, but he has absolutely roasted Kenneth Powell. They've worked it into the box well here. Try and stop that pass from going across because you can just see the sweat was going to be where they were heading with that one. And thankfully, we do bring it away now as Paul Smith is going to try and take his man on. Gets the throw in at least. Making a couple of changes on the hour mark here. Armstrong and Cook both coming off, I should say, for Coley and Dunn. Two like-for-like changes. It's basically just a matter of I needed to get some fresh legs on the pitch. Pereira there with a terrible tackle. Apparently no foul, no booking, but it was a foul. But let's try and just build up here from a little bit of a deeper set piece. Going to try and get it there to Linden. Linden, lovely first touch. Gets Coley. Coley, oh, why is he turned? Why is he turned? I've asked him to turn back round on himself, and then I'm just setting him up to take a shot. I'm holding the analog stick left, and he's turned downwards, which is infuriating because I just wanted to just have that extra step, just get a little bit of breathing room from the defender and shoot. But apparently the decision was he'll turn into the defender and lose the chance to shoot. So that's very disappointing. But maybe a chance still here as Paul Smith brings it forward into Coley. Coley finds Linden. Linden Dykes is pulled onto his right. And he's hit it. Oh, he's hit it wide, boys. That for me there is a goal all day, every day. I wasn't even thinking about the fact it wasn't going to hit the target. My worry was beating the keeper. Apparently, I needed to beat the post. Linden's shooting boots have been missing today, and that is very disappointing because he's not played badly. But, you know, in the first game against Preston, lovely goal. Absolutely lovely finish. But against Leicester at home here, I think he's left his shooting boots in Preston. First train to go and get them, please. And we found them. 2-1, boys. Back in it. 75 minutes on the clock. And that is a very, very important goal. But just imagine we had converted one of those other chances. Imagine we'd scored that last chance that had just gone. Or imagine we'd scored that chance before where he's hit it wide across the goal. Linden has definitely been our main outlet today for goals, not just in the Preston game and the fact that he has been the only goal scorer, but he's been, I think, the only player really with proper chances at goal. And that's a big, big goal for Linden. Still time for us to get something from this, but there's obviously still time for Leicester to cause us problems. But it has to be noted, second half Leicester have offered nowhere near as much, both as a threat coming forward, possession-wise. They've offered next to nothing compared to how threatening they were in the first half, where the game was basically all Leicester, and it was a matter of how many goals would they like to score. The second half has not been that case at all here. And Chrissy Willock, with his first real chance in the second half to get involved, he's going to try and bring this forward. Very well defended there from James Justin. I said in the first half, Willock was the coming out on top of that battle, but Justin, very importantly for Leicester, coming out on top of that one there in that particular moment. But that might end up being the last chance we would have had in the game as they find Pereira, the right back, bursting through down the middle here as he's cut inside. But do we have a chance to bring it away? No. Sadly, Dunn's pass to Dazelle gave Dazelle far too much to do, and I don't think we're going to get a chance to try and push on for a second. We're not. It's an unfortunate defeat, boys, against top of the table, so I can't be too upset. But I still want to bring results to Loftus Road, and I'm failing to do so at the moment. We're getting applauded off the pitch. I'll take the applause, but it's disappointing to have got a loss. I guess the fans are maybe understanding that this is a very good side, and we've pulled it close. A chance or two that just finds the right side of the net, and we pick up another point. I don't think many people would have expected us to have got 3 points, or even particularly a point against Leicester. It wasn't quite to be, but the main thing we'll take from this is that Linden is finding the goals, which is good. It's good that Linden's at least scoring goals because we need him to be finding the back of the net. But next game is up against Sheffield Wednesday. So it just goes to show how close this division is. We started the episode in 11th, went up to 9th, and now we're down to 12th. And it just goes to show how mental this division is. And goal difference, we could have dropped all the way down to 15th, boys, if goal difference was worse for us. So it really does just show you how close this middle of the pack is as we approach the sort of mid part of the season. But I'm going to get ready for the Sheffield Wednesday game. I'll see you guys when I see you there. But yeah, I think there's going to be a couple of little tweaks to the team. Before we get to that next game, we have had our scout reports in for the next batch of youth prospects. Just having a little look and seeing if anyone really jumps out at me here. I'm just looking at those starting values to see if there's any players that could be decently rated. Samar Ali looks like he could have a little bit of decent rating to him. £475,000 off the bat, 15, so has a bit of a chance to improve on that rating as well. I'm going to leave the other two if they're still, the report is still to be scouted further. I'm going to let Badir Hassan, who at the age of 15 has an incredible beard, and Kadir and Badir Hassan, fair enough. Going to let them both be scouted a little bit further. I got really confused. I was like, I swear I just mentioned him. It's a difference between a K and a B. But we'll have a look at the English one as well and see if anything's coming through. Nathan Carpenter, I know we've scouted him for a few months now. I think the potential is good, but I don't think there's much point in me investing too much into him for now. Jacob Cole, I don't think looks like he's going to be good enough. Same with Jamie Bird, Ruben Willis as well. Leon Graham is not looking good enough. Ollie Booth, for sure not. Jake Bentley, for sure not. Patrick Hewitt is also a no. I'll keep Hewitt there just because it means that I can go straight to the squad report from here. But yeah, that is a little bit disappointing. Samad Ali coming in as an 56, sorry, not an 86 would be great. 56 there. But I don't think there's really much point in us calling anyone up for now. Radu, I think it'll be worth trying to call up and get on loan. Get him loaned out somewhere. Everyone else is still 15, so can't be called up. But for now, Radu, I'm going to have him train to potentially get called up and loaned out. But we've still got a while on his development into a left mid anyway. It's worth noting that Labrovic has not only said that he is thinking about his time here because he's not playing enough, but he's also essentially asked to play the next game, which for me is basically hinting at the fact that he is going to be very, very unimpressed if he doesn't start. So I'm going to play Labrovic. I think after the goal we conceded against Leicester, that first one, not the second one. The second one was a great strike. But after that goal we conceded, I think it makes sense to throw Labrovic in and just give him a chance. Just give him a game and see if he can really prove himself. So the lineup stays as you guys saw it just a second ago. It's the same starting 11 minus the goalkeeper change that we played against Leicester. But it's another home game, and I think I've just clocked that actually I've said Sheffield Wednesday can play in their home kit. I think this is going to be not a great decision for my eyes. I don't think I'm going to enjoy this one visually, having to play blue and white hoops against blue and white stripes. Oh, no, boys. Oh, this could be terrible. How have the FA let this pass through? I blame the FA. It definitely wasn't my fault. It was definitely the FA's fault. 100%. Oh, for God's sake, Tom, you absolute fool. Look at that. Okay, the shorts. The shorts are the difference here. Come on, you Oz. White shorts. Aussie going to try and close that down. Very well done there from Aussie Kakai. And just about keeps it in play. Really nice pass out from Cook as well to try and bring this ball forward now. Linden's going to look to his right to find Dazelle. Dazelle plays it into Armstrong. Armstrong just about gets past his man. Doesn't quite keep possession though. Oh, but gets the ball played out to him. Vasquez with a very loose pass there. And it very easily could have ended up very much more problematic for the Sheffield Wednesday keeper. But thankfully for him, it wasn't. Sadly for us, it didn't quite end up in the back of the net. Sheffield Wednesday bring it forward again here. Kenneth Powell with a player on the overlap ahead of him. But that run has just sold me completely there. Oh, I was going to say, no one's closing down here. I've tried to play the ball out there with Field, which is stupid. And Labrovic misses that one. And I cannot defend to save my life, boys. I just need to, every now and again, I just need to hit circle and get the ball out of there. I need to stop messing around with it at the back. I don't know if you guys find the same thing. I'm a real culprit, for trying to play out of the back because it just, in my head, it makes sense to try and keep possession. But I'm a real culprit of doing it and it leading to goals against me. But Buckley makes it 1-0, boys. Yet again, we go 1-0 down at home. Lovely ball there from Kenneth Powell. Elias Chair is just onside. He just about stayed onside there. Takes it past one, takes it past two, and a third. But he is heading in the wrong direction. But here comes Chrissy Willock off the post. I don't know if the keeper had it covered or not, but the post certainly did. That's so unlucky. A quick response would have been fantastic. Chrissy Willock now with this ball on the right-hand side. Armstrong making a lovely run into the box. Oh, but the ball's just behind him. That's so unfortunate. Elias is going to bring it down. Finds Sinclair Armstrong, who finds the keeper's chin. And it does go wide of the post after a very good save. But now, again, corners. I'm confident with corners, boys. We are pretty good at them. I haven't quite put enough power on that one, though, have I? No, Linden's going to climb up, not quite win it. It's going to drop to Cook of all players. Cook has a lamp. That looked like it hit a player's arm. I don't know how handballs particularly work in FC24 in career mode. I know in FIFA 23 you could turn them off or on, and I had them on. But that looked like it hit an arm to me. Aussie Kakai, yet again, winning the ball on that right-hand side there. I have to say, Ozzy has done really, really well defensively today and been a real rock on that right-hand side. The issues have been coming up against Powell on the left-hand side, but they're attacking that left-hand side in numbers, whereas thankfully Ozzy's been kept to one-on-ones where he's done very, very well. But so far, a John Buckley strike on about the 24th minute, I think it was, separating the sides at the break. It's been a very, very tough first half to get into, but we slowly did start to build into it. And then, of course, the half-time whistle went. Ilias Chair has been very, very impactful. Chrissy Willock this time, not so much. So Willock's going to make way for Paul Smith. Paul Smith is going to come in, and I'll make him that right winger position. Clark Salter's really unhappy, and I'm not entirely sure why. But he's not a happy chap. He'll be playing for another 90 minutes, unless that's the issue. He's not happy because he's been playing a lot recently. I don't know how that would work, but maybe that's the only answer I can think of. But Ilias Chair going to try and bring this ball forward as we start the second half here. Sinclair Armstrong, strength to keep it, but not the composure to find the back of the net there. We're playing well, boys. We're making chances. We're getting the ball forward here. Look, he's done so well to keep it, but just like that Linden chance in the game against Leicester that just found itself going wide of the post, it's done it again, boys, and it's still 1-0. But we've got plenty of time to get back into this. I'm not going to panic just yet. Oh, they get the ball in here. He's completely on his own at the back post, but Ilias Chair gets back an absolutely vital tackle there. Lovely bit of strength from the Moroccan magician himself. Let's be careful here yet again. They come down this left-hand side, and yet again you can see they're doing so in numbers. Every time it's Kenneth Powell up against two. It's why it's so helpful that Chair does drop back as much as he does, because otherwise it's 2v1 every single time. But hold on a second here. Ilias Chair, look at the run from Armstrong. We're going to find it. Lovely run. Lovely first touch. Second touch is pretty good too. And the third touch finds the back of the net, boys. And just like that, we are back in it. It's 1-1 and Sinclair Armstrong bags his first goal of the game. The duo in Chair and Armstrong striking lucky again. It's absolutely lovely. Lovely ball from Chair after a brilliant run from both him and Sinclair. Gets the ball. Couple of touches to bring that ball out into space. And then a lovely strike across the goal to find the back of the net. Really good stuff indeed. And we're going to try and build on this as well. We're going to make a change here. I'm going to bring on again Larketch because Powell has been up against it today. I feel like I should have kept Aroha maybe on the bench just to bring on as somebody creative here. And I feel like maybe that's going to end up shooting me in the foot a little bit. Said I can bring on at centre mid, but I don't know how good a job he's going to do there. No disrespect to him, but it is not his primary position. And I'm also going to take off Linden for Coley. I know Linden has been a goal scorer and a game winner for us in the past, but I just think, you know what? Coley Armstrong, give the duo a chance there. You also saw I did take off Clark Salter for Dunn. Just some fresh legs in the back, but 4 changes, the quadruple change coming into effect there. Fingers crossed it works out. Said, I'm asking a lot of him, throwing him into a box-to-box DM role, sort of asking him to play that kind of Ericsson at Spurs vibe, you know, just trying to get him to play from deep. Apparently a foul there. Play from deep, create chances from deep. And fingers crossed that extra creativity in the midfield can pay dividends. Let's find out. Ozzy again steps in really well there. There were 3 players there that could have caused a problem. Thankfully, Paul Smith getting back and evening the numbers a little bit for us. But that was really, really well done yet again there from Ozzy Kakai. He really has had to be at the top of his game today, and he has been, which is great to see. But Said is going to try and play it to Smith. It's maybe not the best pass, but Smith also decided very late to change his run to inside and then back outside again. If he'd have just stayed on the outside the whole time, I think actually he'd have got the ball a lot sooner, and we maybe would have had a chance. But Said now, bringing the ball forward, going to find Rayan Coley. Coley brings it in on his left. Good effort. Paul Smith, can he take the first time strike? He can. He hits the side netting. Oh, hindsight is 2020. I maybe should have taken a touch and turned to try and get it back in. They're going to take their goal scorer off for a change here in the 84th minute. Not long left on the clock, boys, but there is a chance to try and push back into it. We have been the better side in the latter stages of this game. A home win is still the aim here, but a back-to-back home draw is potential on the cards. But a lovely turn there from Paul Smith. He's going to play that ball to Rayan Coley. I won't lie to you. I was trying to play it to Ozzy Kakai. But look at this run here. Oh, it's not going to play to Said. Instead, it's going to play to Ilias. And Ilias is going to find the back of the net, boys. And just like that, in the 89th minute, it's a late goal to put us in the lead for the first time in a while, it feels, although it's only been a couple of games. But lovely stuff there from the boys. Really lovely play. I tried to play that ball across the side, full transparency, but I will take the pass that Paul Smith found as Ilias Chair just takes that touch, takes two defenders out of the situation, and then just has to hit and hope. And the hit is good enough that it finds the back of the net. Lovely, lovely stuff. The keeper couldn't get to it. Not a great dive from the keeper, it must be said, but a lovely strike from Ilias. Is that his first goal this season? I can't remember scoring with him. This is fourth. I've completely lied to you. I've clearly blocked some of the previous goals out of my mind just from that bad run of games. I've tried not to think about it, but he has found another goal this season, and it could potentially push to 3 here. This could end up looking a lot better than the game has been. Unlucky from Armstrong as he tries to play it back to Coley. Doesn't quite find the man. But surely, referee, that is all she wrote. It is indeed. Full time, boys. 2-1 to QPR. A win at Loftus Road. Things you love to see. Is this the sign of better things to come? Is this the sign of finally finding our feet here? Finding a little bit of form? And I have to say, he didn't get loads done. But Said, when he came on, did a decent little job. Fair play to him. It says a dramatic late winner, and it did feel very dramatic, I won't lie to you. It's a good win, though. It's a great result. It sees us back up into 9th place, which is fantastic. A great place to be. If we can manage to get anywhere near those playoffs, obviously, level of realism is relatively out the window with how bad we're playing in real life. I can't really say much about that other than I fully get it. But for the sake of the series, if we can push to a playoff place for this series and this season, that would be truly phenomenal. That would do the series bits. It would mean that we can push towards Premiership football or Premier League football, Premier League football, and really start building this team and working on a couple of individuals to build the team around, get a couple of players in, get some money into the club as well, which would be fantastic. But all of that aside, we're going to get into our last game of the episode up against Rotherham. I'll see you guys when we're there. So some discontent in the dressing room after we get a win. Fair enough. It doesn't look like we can win anything this season. An interesting look. Here. I'll just say that I'll sort it out. I will do my best to sort it out. I mean, realistically, what were my objectives? My objectives were mid-table, right? Domestic was finished mid-table. Get to the round of 16 in the FA Cup, which we're not in at the moment. That hasn't started. Just feels a little bit weird. Ready for Rotherham here. Internationals have struck again. Labrovic and Paul Smith were the only two players who are off on international duty. So Begovic makes his way back into the starting team and Richards makes his way onto the bench. I've also replaced Colback with Dixon Bonner. Colback, again, another player that has started to go down in rating. So is kind of indicating to me that maybe, just maybe, another player we should look to potentially ship off for the sake of getting some cash into the club to potentially make a signing or two in January. So again, let me know what you think. In real life, I'm absolutely happy with Colback. I think he's an important part of a midfield 3, Ainsworth. Midfield 3, please, because we play so much better when we've got a 3-man midfield. Maybe one day that'll be realised by the team or the coaching staff, hopefully. But yeah, let's take on Rotherham, boys. Having a good season here at the moment, up in 12th place, which is a massive fair play to them. Doing the business right now. Fingers crossed we can maybe put a bit of a party pooper on their season and pick up a win here, which could see us up to like 6th or 7th if games go our way. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's just focus on the game. 3 points again, boys. Back-to-back wins would be lovely. Come on, you ours. Well, look. Lovely little simple ball roll there. Takes it past one man. Wins the foul as well. But Willock, edge of the box here. Going to try one from range. Oh, it wasn't far off. The keeper didn't even move there, but not a bad little effort there. Bit of the R1 dribbling just to keep that possession and just keep the ball moving swiftly. But the keeper seemed very confident for a shot that was very, very near his top corner. Oh, a lovely bit of play here. And Jordan Hugill is going to cause a problem. He does so when he plays against us. It doesn't matter where he's been since being with us. I would still argue his best season, in my opinion, was with QPR, despite some pretty stinky misses. Had a very good goal-scoring season with us. Him and Naki Wells doing the business, but it just seems to be that he has got a real knack of scoring against QPR, whether it be in real life or apparently virtually in my career mode. But Begovic makes himself big, but apparently not big enough, as Jordan Hugill makes it 1-0 to Rotherham. Yet again, boys, for the third game in a row, we go 1-0 behind and give ourselves a lot to do. Oh, it's a lovely bit of play here from Rotherham, and my word, that could have been 2 for Hugill. I think Begovic must have got, he must have got a touch to that. Wow, I thought that was just a whisker wide of the post, but apparently Asmi has made a save, so fair play to him. That could have been very, very problematic. Let's try and not concede again here. Get that ball out, get it out, please. Not again, boys. Jordan Hugill makes it 2, and just like that, the lead has been doubled. It is problematic for us, boys. It really, really is. And what was I saying about Hugill? He just loves scoring against QPR, man. He absolutely loves it. But the ball comes in. We sort of get it a little bit clear, but not at all there. You can just see that the initial flick on header, I'm not sure who it was, just flicks it to the edge of the box. And no one's on Jordan Hugill. Why is nobody marking Jordan Hugill from a cross? Like, admittedly, he's not scored it with his head, but there's no way you let their centre forward just stand alone for a corner. Ridiculous, boys. 2-0, and now a mountain to climb. The space is being just absolutely found, abused. I'm not sure what it is, but they're finding space like it's going out of style, boys. We're making this far, far too easy for them while creating relatively no threat at the other end. I've asked that back to Dizelle. Never mind, Elias. But, yeah, they are just walking through us, boys. And that we're making it look ridiculously easy for them. Hugill is absolutely gunning for this hat-trick, boys. And it's not even half-time. Rotherham bringing it forward again. Now they're bringing out flare passes. The lot, boys. Lindsay with the strike. Boys, it's 3-0. No disrespect to Rotherham, but how the Christ am I 3-0 down to Rotherham? Anyone who was worried that I've made this too easy by going to Legendary, welcome to my thumbs ability, boys. Look, they're playing flare passes. They're dinking it through. It's a little bit unlucky with the ball finding its way through. Obviously, I know this is the AI, and I'm well aware that it wouldn't mark them as onside if they're not. But I just want to see how close it was. Right, so that's where he's touched it. Let me just go to my back line here. Well, I'll go to their striker. Because I thought he looked offside to me. But, oh, no. No, he's well onside. Sorry to waste everyone's time. He looked offside on that replay. He was well on. 3-0, boys. And it's, for lack of a better word, embarrassing. Armstrong. Lovely overlap from Chrissy Willock. He's going to just have to have another longer range strike. And it's wide of the post again, boys. And it's 3-0 to the home side. We have been walked over, and it's not been difficult for them at all. Every time they get the ball, I just can't do anything, boys. I just feel like I can't take them on. I can't beat the man. And when they get the ball, they just bring it forward. I'm going to have to just go with a very attacking change here. And I think I'm going to have to go ahead, bring on Richards at centre mid. So we've got a Cam at centre mid, a sort of box-to-box centre mid, 2 wingers, 2 strikers. I'm going to just have to go for it. But with 45 minutes on the clock and lots of work to do, we will stay. I'll remain ambitious, boys. I'll remain as positive as I can. One back now will be good. What is that? What on earth is that? That is inexcusably wide from that position. You could argue I should have taken the shot on that first time on his left and just hit it a goal, because we've seen him score with his left foot. But I just thought, get it onto his right and just kind of have a better chance on his stronger foot. That was my thought, but it was apparently a stupid thought. Ilias Chair won't make the same mistake, though. It could just be this end is the end for goals, boys. We're shooting at our away fans now, so fingers crossed the boys can carry us through. But a lovely bit of play. Sinclair Armstrong with a beautiful little assist. Ilias Chair with a lovely goal. Roles reverse from the last game. Fingers crossed, boys. We've got that goal nice and early in this second half. Lovely and early. So fingers crossed. We've given ourselves plenty of time to try and mount some form of a comeback here. Oh, and they are through again. I just worry every time they get the ball into this sort of position, because they've been ruthless. They've been clinical in front of goal. And this, again, I've given them another chance. And that's a simple play through. Oh my word, boys. The space I think it's Lindsay had on the edge of the box is criminal from me. I would like to see that back and how poorly I defended that. Begovic has come out and not closed it down well enough. Look here. I've changed player far too late and not closed him down with Cook quick enough. Begovic gone with a hand towards it instead of trying to block the goal. He's tried to palm the shot. I'm not entirely sure. But it's 4-1. Again, a 3-goal lead is what we have to climb here. Ilias. Lovely play into Sinclair Armstrong, who doesn't quite take it past the man. I press circle to shoot, but he was going to take that shot just on the next touch, which sadly ended up not happening. Linden going to try and bring this ball forward. Finds Chrissy Willock on the outside of him there. He's going to look up and finds Linden again. Up here to Sinclair. Sinclair to the back of the net, boys. 4-2. We have found our ability to shoot in the second half. And thankfully, it's come at a pretty decent time. It would still be nice if we found our ability to defend, but we haven't found that one just yet. Sinclair does score, by the way, just as I've taken him off the pitch. I've made another couple of changes here, but Sinclair Armstrong is going to make way for Coley, and Dezella's gone off for Sade. I have got 4 cams on the pitch, boys. I've got 4 attacking midfielders, 2 strikers, and a back line. I've just gone balls to the walls, lad. I think, in all honesty, it's what we need to do if we want to give ourselves half a chance of getting something from this. Yes, I've lost all defensive capability in the midfield, but hopefully the creativity will carry us through. At this point, my thought process is the best form of defence is attack. We'll find out if that's a good idea or not. Get that ball away, boys. We've not got long to try and get back into this. Well done, Richards. Lovely stuff there. Lyndon Dykes, heavy touch, but he keeps it. Coley doesn't quite play the pass back quick enough, but we do have a foul, boys. It's the 89th minute. I'm trying my absolute utmost to get this ball just forward as often as possible. Chair, a little bit lucky to keep possession, but he's going to work his way round his man here. Ilias Chair tries to play it in, and it's gone off for a goal kick. That's all she wrote, boys. I'm not going to be able to mount a comeback from this, but conceding 4 to Rotherham is poor from me. Conceding 4 in a game is bad anyway, but against a team that we really shouldn't be conceding that many goals against, but we do. And I'm fairly sure that's probably going to be them replacing us in the table because, as I say, that middle of the table is so close. But losses like that, it's unfortunate. It's not one you want to see, but it's been a real mixed bag today. 2 wins, a loss and a draw. It's unfortunate. It's not great form, but it could be worse. But 2 goals for Hugel. I just hate playing against Hugel. An unfortunate loss to get as we do concede a brace to Jordan Hugel and 4 in total to Rotherham. But we see ourselves finishing where we started, which is back in 11th place. Ahead of Rotherham just on goal difference. But again, you can see like West Brom on 23, the 4 teams below them on 22, 3 teams below them on 21. So literally, if I lose a game, I could literally go all the way down to 18th if all of those teams pick up points, you know, like it's mental. It's truly mental. But with a win, I could see myself back up to 9th. Like it's a crazy table, but that's what I love about this, man. It's so good. Leeds and Leicester slowly pulling away a little bit from the chasing pack. Southampton, Hull, Norwich and Preston finishing off those playoff places. And the teams in the bottom 3 at the end of today's episode are Ipswich, Stoke and Huddersfield, with Watford and Sunderland teetering around those points as well. But that's absolutely mental to me, some of those teams in those positions. But that is where we're going to round up today's video. If you guys have enjoyed it, then please do leave a like on the video. It supports me, the video, the channel, and the series out a whole bunch. If you're new, hit the sub button and turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. If you want to watch us on our live streams, it's Hursty Games on Twitch. There's a link down below, along with my TikTok and my Twitter. Feel free to go and check them out. But that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you very soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands. Take care.